Hello everyone, welcome back to StudyEcart. I'm your Yogi. Today we are going to learn something about a Spring Boot application which contains the CRUD operations on MySQL database. So guys, it's a very simple application. If you fully concentrate on this particular video, definitely you'll get to know that how to create that simple Spring Boot application along with the MySQL with CRUD operations. Okay, so let's start. So just go to the file. I'm just creating the file, new project now, just new and Spring Starter project here, and I can name it as a CRUD Pro. And I'm just taking the building tool. It is a Maven and packaging jar, and I just wants to create this application on Java 8 version, and as is taking the group name and the package name will be similar, and artifact name will be same as like a project name here. And I'm just creating the beta version, so I'm just clicking the next here, and I just wants to add that some basic development dependencies here. So first one, I just wants to add that Spring Web here. So for why we are how to create, we have to add the Spring Web to the our application means that it will be providing the basic Spring MVC signature and as well as the RESTful services. And one more important tool will automatically add it to that your application. That is like a Apache Tomcat. I said like a embedded container it is. So I'm just selecting for that, adding to that our application. And after that, I have to add the MySQL driver. I'm just using my database as a MySQL. So that's why just adding the drivers. So and as well as that, we have to add that one ORM at least. ORM means like say it's like a object relational mapping it is. So that will be like having some methods and some functionalities which will be connecting to that your Java code to the database. So I'm just adding further. I just adding the Spring Data JPA. Here we are just using that ORM as a Hibernate. Okay. So I'm just selecting this one, and I just wants to go for the live loading here. For live loading, I just using the Spring Dev tools. Spring Dev tools, if you add to the Spring Dev tools to the your application, your application, whenever you changes, whenever you do some changes on that your application while running the project, so you no need to relaunch the project again to trigger that those changes, right? So though for that you have to add the Spring Dev tools. It's having the some live loading. It will be automatically relaunched when you when you do some changes on the application while running the project. Okay, so just I just adding that one also. And as well as the when comes to that, I just wants to maintain like a very proficient and very professional code. For that, I just wants to avoid that boilerplate code here. Boilerplate code means that like a duplicate code. Simply for avoiding those type of codes, we just adding the Lombok actually providing the multiple annotations which will be avoiding that boilerplate code. Okay, and I think so almost I just added everything here. Web and for database, I just adding the data JPA and as well as my SQL driver. For avoiding the boilerplate code, I just adding that Lombok, and for live loading, I just adding that Spring Boot Dev tools. Okay, and just go next and finish. So it will take some time to load that project. Because of that, based on the dependencies, your project will be downloaded that all the tools and added into that your Maven dependency. So it will take some time based on that your internet speed and as well as that your IDE performance. Okay, so I think it's downloaded. Let's go to that project inside. See, if you observe this structure automatically designed by our Spring installer. Okay, there is a website called spring.io. We can call that one as a Spring installer. It will be providing that basic skeleton for your application actually. So the what are the dependencies we are added? Now those dependencies XML code will be provided in a pom.xml. If you open this one, see, we are added that Spring Data JPA, right? Along with the web, along with the dev tools, and as well as that MySQL driver, and as well Lombok. Okay, and obviously test will be automatically added to that your Spring Boot application, along with that your basic structure actually. Okay, so after that, just go to that. So now, initially we have to connect the database. Okay, for connecting the database, we already added the dependencies, right? So MySQL dependency here for connecting to the database. All database have some like a URL is the right universal resource locator, and as well as that there is a username and passwords also, right? So if you see depending, when you add the dependency to that your permanent examiner, it will be added, it will be added the tool to that your application, but it doesn't mean that you are automatically provide the properties also. Okay, so for adding the properties, you just go to that source main resources, there is application dot properties is there. Just open that one. Here you have to provide that the basic properties for your dependencies. Now I just wants to add that some properties for the MySQL dependency. So for that, what I'm trying to do now, I just wants to add the some. First of all, I just wants to connect with the database, right? So for connecting the database, if I'm just maintaining my local MySQL database. So for that, if we have some URL is there along with the local host, I just wants to connect with that one. Okay, so for that, what I'm trying to do here, I'm go with that spring dot data source dot URL. Okay, URL. So here you have to provide that URL here. Sorry, so URL. Fine. So sorry, spring it is. Now it's fine. So let's add that URL here, JDBC and colon MySQL. Okay, and colon slash slash and localhost. Localhost, you can name it as a localhost, or you can provide the IP address also, like 127.0.0.1. Okay, so I'm just taking that localhost here, and mostly by default port number for MySQL server will be 3306. You have to add that one. After that, you have to add that your database, which database you are taking for this particular project. So I'm just taking that like let me take that CRUD. Okay, I'm just adding that database name is a CRUD database. Okay, so after that, you have to provide that username and password for that this connection. Okay, so I'm just adding the spring dot get data source. Okay, dot username, right? Username, my database having that username is a Sido. Okay, and let me take that this one as a simple manner, and I wants to provide the password also. Let add the password here. Password. So let's add the password like Sidhu 123 password it is. Otherwise, let me take that. I think so. I just doubt on this particular username. Let me add the root and Sidhu 123. Okay. So now I'm just adding that all the main properties about your MySQL to that Spring Boot application here. So okay, so maybe I just want see while we're running that project, if we do any changes on table, means that here we can call it as a model. We have to see that all the by default queries, okay, queries which is already designed by that Hibernate, that will be shown on our console here. Further, what I'm trying to do here, spring dot jpa dot so SQL. So SQL equals to, I can say that true it is. So it will be triggered that, and it will shows that all the queries when our Hibernate automatically takes the chance. Okay. So after what I'm trying to do here, I'm creating the spring dot and the JPA dot, and I can go with this Hibernate dd equals to update. See here, it will be when you add this particular property now, you if you not had created any tables to that your application, that automatically create the table, like a model automatically create here based on this particular property. Okay, so now everything is fine. I just added now. Then let's go to that Java code here. So actually, if you open that this Java code, we only given this particular package name here, right? Once you open that particular Java source code here. See, there is this application having that one main method. I think everyone knows that one project contains the only one main method by defaultly. So, and while we're running the project, the main method will take the chance to run the project, right? So, this main method contains class. Actually, we can call it as a main class, right? This main class we are noted as a Spring Boot application. Okay, so this using the Spring Boot application annotation. Actually, Spring Boot application annotation, it's a combination of three annotations. If you observe here, mainly, okay. One is a Spring Boot configuration. It will automatically configure that all the Spring Boot configuration into that your application while creating that application itself. Okay, and enable auto configuration. Actually, Spring Boot is a single term, so if you want to add any other configuration, you have to enable that one also. And component scan means it's a services layer related. If you add that all the logics, now all the logics will be triggered by our main class itself, so that's why you have to add the component scan. See, we will discuss more on these particular annotations in future, especially one session. Okay, let's complete this particular CRUD operations. Once you have created that Spring Boot application, so then I have to add that one by one. There is a flow, is there, right? I think so you people already knows that. What's the flow here? Once main method created, after that we have to go for that controller. Okay, after that it will be checking for that logic controller, having that controllers about your services like logics along with the mappings here in controller. The logic will be there in a service layer. Okay, so I'm just go like a simple manner. Okay, the basic structure it is. In advanced level we can segregate into multiple packages here, but here I'm just go like a very simple manner here. Once service layer triggered, then it will go directly go for the repository having some basic methodologies which will be added by using that Hibernate itself. Okay, after that you just go with the model means it's a table. Okay, so we'll add that each and every entity into that our project now. So let's add into the different packages. Okay, that will be show some professionality here. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm just go to the new and class, and I can say that app controller, and just finish here. Okay, and I just wants to note it this one as a controller now. So you see, I just want to create this particular application using the RESTful services, right? So I just instead of controller, I can go for the REST controller here. REST controller. Okay, once I REST controller, then I just wants to sorry so I just want to maintain this particular controller into some other package. Okay, package called as a controller. Let's create that one and drag there. Okay, and finish here, and I just want to drag into here. Fine, fine. So after that, what I'm trying to do here, I just wants to create that service layer. Okay, let's create the service layer here. So I'm just going that app service. I can say that app service. In that app service, I just wants to put then this one into that service package. Okay, so I'm just finish here. So after that, I'm just wants to create that one more interface. It is for why, because I just wants to add the some repository features from that like a which from already predefined repositories there. From there to here, I just wants to import now. So that's why I just wants to create that in repository as a interface here. Okay, so I can say that app repo. Okay, and this one will be like a under repository. I can put like that. Okay, repository. Fine, I just finish here, and I just wants to notate this one as a repository annotation to identify that our Spring Boot application main method. So after that, I just wants to extend this one into, we have two interfaces is there to providing the basics methodologies about your model or database table. So that will be like CRUD repository or JPA repository. I just using the CRUD repository here. Okay, CRUD repository, and here it will be like a working like a map. Okay, so for key point, you have to add that the model name here. So I didn't provide that any model, right? Let's create the model now. Okay, let's create the model. I'm just creating the model name is like a user, maybe user. Okay, and it is I just put the what like a model here. Okay, and finish here. and I can now just came back, and now I just wants to denote this one as the entity for maintaining that operations on like a Java. Okay, and I just wants to add that table. Okay, for noting that. Okay, and I can provide the some attribute as a name here, and I can provide the user. If you're not providing that any attribute, now it automatically takes that a class name as a name for that your table. Okay, so let's go to that repo now. So I'm just adding that the model name here, like what is the model name, like a user here, right? And here you can provide that some what I can say that some fields here. So let's add some fields here into ID and string. So mostly you can create that all the fields in a model using a private. Okay, so that will be suggestible, but because we may not use these particular properties or fields outside of the class, right? So the most of the time, so that's why. So private, I can say the string here, name. Okay, I can say that private I can string and password. Okay, maybe I can use that this one as a username. Okay, so now fine, and after that private string role I can provide one more. Okay, so now I just creating everything here. My main fields I just added to the user table here. So I just wants to create that setters and getters to communicate with other communicate with your methods in a spring boot. Okay, for that you can directly right click on the pros or source file and go to the source and generate setters and getters and just click on select all. It will automatically create it here. See, automatically created, but I don't want to use like this because I already added that book, right? So I just using some annotations. Okay, getter, and when you add the getter, automatic getters methods will be added, and you only add that setter, automatically setters will be added to that your model here. Okay, once you added that model, all those things, I think so everything is perfect for the model now. So just go to the repository again. Here also just import that user from the model. Okay, and here you have to provide, see, at least you have to provide that one field as a primary key using that annotation called as @id. Okay, @id here. Okay, so don't worry about these things. Okay, actually when you look at these particular annotations from the Jakarta is doesn't mean that it's not like another package. It's actually from the Java organization only. Early days now we people call this Jakarta as a Java X. Okay, now Java X converted into that Jakarta. Okay, don't think too much about this. Okay, so now it's fine. Now I'll just save this one and let's go to the repo. Here the ID is there, right? In the ID part, you have to provide that what the ID, your ID as an annotation to that your property, one of the property in your model, right? So that ID data type wrapper class you have to provide here. So what are the wrapper class here? Integer. Okay, so actually here you can observe I just providing that this ID as an integer type, right? So you have what is the integer type wrapper class here? That integer, right? So just go to that integer. So like this, I just created now. So almost all the basic operations, all the basic methods was already designed in a CRUD repository that automatically enhanced, like inherited into the app repo here, and it will be mostly depending on that ID here. Well, because we are providing that ID base, right? ID base it is. So let's go to the service now. Okay, in a service, I can denote this one as a @service here. Okay, service, and here I just wants to import that this app repo methods into here, right? So that's what I'm trying to do here. App repo, app repo. Okay, so and I just wants to import this one, and I just wants to auto wired, and I don't want to use outside of this particular class. So I noted this one a private. Okay, so once you create it like this, then you go to the controller. Any controller just wants to access that service layer. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here, app service, app service. Okay, so I'm just import that app service, and this one also like I'm maintaining like a private here. and auto void here. Okay, so fine. Now almost we created every class which will require to create the CRUD operation. Let's start now. Okay, let's create that simple. Let's send that some data into that user table now. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here. Let's create that one simple application. I am just taking that method type is object type because maybe sometimes we can send that whole object, sometimes we can send some string type or integer type. What are the types? Maybe we can send any type, right? So maybe if you, so all types will be accepted by that our object class, right? So because object class is a super class for that every class in a Java, right? So I'll just create here. I can say that save new user. I can take the method name like this. Okay, and after that I can take that model name as a user. Okay, and I can directly send that whole model here. That's right. Okay, so import here. And I didn't create that any methods there, so I was just using service and save user I can use, and I can forward this user here. So it's not yet created there, so just when you click on this automatically create there. Okay, so in a service layer, so I'm just mapping it is on a post mapping, and I can give this some path here like a save. Okay, fine. And how we can like take that inputs from that user now. So I can take that this one as a request body. I can take the data from the request body. Okay, so let's create that table now. Let's create that method there. Okay, just go there, and here we see all methods will be designed automatically, so no need to worry about these things. Okay, so I'm just written app repo dot, we have the same method is the same method from the code repository. Okay, directly provide that user here. That's it. Okay, so this one will be like a object type. Okay, now it's fine. Come here, it's fine now. Okay, so let's return this one. Okay, let's return. Fine, your same method will be created here. This one we can call it as a create. Okay, create method. So we are already completed one operation here. The next operation we can go with the retrieve. Okay, retrieve means we can get that some data from the database. Okay, so let me write that this one as well, like object type. Okay, so get user by ID. I can call like this. Okay, I can send that ID. Based on that ID, you have to get the details here. Okay, what I'm trying to do here, I can put like this, and we can send the data using request body or request params or path variable also. I'm just using the path variable here. Okay, path variable. Sorry, path variable. I can go with like this, and I can take it as ID also. The key. Sorry. And after that, what I'm trying to do here, return app service dot, actually the method is not yet created, right? So I can say that get by ID. I can create like this. Okay, I can provide that ID and I can save it, and let's create there in a service layer. And here also nothing we are going to do here, just using the app repository, app repo. Okay, dot, I can get that find by ID. There is a direct method is the find by ID. You can provide that ID here. That's it. Okay, that's it. It's enough now. Okay, let's go to the controller. Now retrieve method also completed here. So for that, I just using that get mapping here. Get mapping, I can say that it is a retrieve. Okay, or I can simply use the get mapping. Okay, or I can simply say that post it is simply. Okay, and I'm go with that delete mapping. Okay, delete mapping. Okay, CRUD operations, like right. Okay, let's open that one. And mostly CRUD operations will be like a void types. Okay, sorry, all the delete operations will be mostly void types. So just taking that this one as like a object type only. Okay, I can say that delete by ID. Okay, and delete user. I can say that it's will be to understand more, and using the same path variable structure here. Okay, so here, and instead of that, what I'm trying to do here, return delete user ID. I can say that, and I can forward ID, and I can create the method inside of that app service, right? So let's create the method there. Okay. Here also we are not going to do any much. Okay. So just using the app repo dot delete by ID is there directly. You can use that one. Okay. I can forward that ID here, and it's a wide method, right? We don't need to send anything here. So I'm just sending that return record deleted successfully. Okay, and save it. Now its delete operation is also completed. So go to that update now. Okay, update. For that update we are using sorry, we are not at add sorry, we have to add the delete mapping here. I can use this one path name as delete here. Okay, so and let's go to that like a update, right? Update for that update. What I'm trying to do here, again I'm just using that object here, and update by, okay, update by ID I can use like this. And see how for updating you have to use that one for identifying the record, you have to use that one particular field name. I'm just using the field name as ID here. Okay, int ID. Okay, that too I can use like a path variable type. Okay, maybe that will be fine here. And we have to send that updated values also, right? For sending that updated values, I'm just sending that whole request body. Okay, and request body whole model here. So I can send the whole model. Okay, update user details. Okay, so again I'm just returning here, return app service dot update by ID. Okay, ID can use that. And here I have to send that ID comma user, right? Both. Let's save it. And sorry, that is updated user, right? So use like this. And here it will be noted as a put mapping. Okay, put mapping. Here I can say that update. Okay, save it, and let's go to that service layer here. And here we have to do some more. Okay, because there is no direct methodologies here. So what I'm trying to do here, first of all, let me check that whether we if you send that ID now, we have to check that whether ID related record is there in our table or not, right? For that, what I'm trying to do here, I'm just using that this one. Okay, like I'm just using the get by ID here. Okay, maybe probably you can directly use that one also. There is no issue. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm just using the user user data equals to what I'm trying to do here. I can call this get by ID. Okay, get by ID. I can provide that ID also here. So actually, whenever you call the get by ID, now it will be provided that through that optional interface. For that getting that actual object, now you have to use that. Okay, now it's fine. I think so. Let's add it. Actually, it's providing that user type, right? So, but we will convert into that, and now you have the data here. So let's check that whether data, if your user data having that any content, now it will have something address, right? Otherwise it having the null value. So if it is having the null value, definitely the record is not existed. So let's try that one. Okay, user data not equals to null. Okay, so then only we can continue. Otherwise we can say that else Okay, so I'm just written user doesn't exist. Okay, if data is there, okay, then definitely we can go inside. And what I'm trying to do here, I'm just adding the data here. There is updated user data is there, right? The data I can add into that user data here, right? So what I'm trying to do here, and finally we can save the data. Okay, so user data, okay, dot set one by one we can. So don't go with that set ID. Okay, ID will be unique, right? Just go like a username first of all. What's that username here? Update user dot get username. Okay, and the same manner we can add remaining also user data. That's it. Role maybe a password maybe. Okay, password also I can go with like this. Okay, what I'm trying to do here, update user. That's it, password, right? Sorry, it's not set, it's a get password. Fine. So and user data dot set, what's remaining? Role, I think so. So update data dot get role. Fine. Once you're getting that all the updated details into that your user data, then you can return and use that user repo, app repo, sorry, app repo it is. App repo dot, you can directly save the data. Okay, the finalized data. So what is that? User data, right? Fine, save. Okay, now it's also completed. So means that all the CRUD operations now completed. Okay, let's run this application. So before running the application, you have to open that your MySQL. Okay, and let's create the database here. Create database. What's the database name we are given there? So just like there in application properties, it's a CRUD. Okay, CRUD. CRUD it is. Okay, just run it. Your database is created. Okay, let's schemas, go to the schemas. Let's refresh here. Yes, your database created here. And so now your database is there, right? I'm just doubting at these particular credentials. Let's run this particular application. We'll check again. Okay, so just what is Spring Boot application? Yeah, fine. Now it's fine. Okay, yeah, it's working now. So you can observe here the table automatically created because of this particular property. Okay, so the password and everything is created here. Okay, so I'm primary key also applied here. So fine, right? So let's go and check that. Let's add some data to that your database. For checking that your APIs, I'm just using the Postman here. Just go to the Postman. Okay, and maybe I can update. You see, I just added that dev tools also, right? I can update the server port number. So actually by default port number will be like 8080, but I just want to maintain like a 9191. Okay, I can save it. So when you save it something, see, after running also it will be automatically relaunches as because of the live loading. Okay, means um we can say that dev tools. Okay, so let's go and check them. And here I'm just taking that add request, and let's go one by one here. Local host colon 9191, and I can go with that post. Okay, so actually I'm just sending the data from that request body, right? Here there is a body is there, right? Right click on that one and go to the raw and check the JSON format. Okay, JSON format is the very easier and familiar with that servers also. So just go like that, and it's here you should provide the data like a map manner. Okay, just using that first one is the ID. I can provide that ID as a one at one. After that, I can use that username. The username I can say that Lara at the dot StudyEcart.com. You should provide that all those things in a double quotation because it's a string format, right? So, and after that, password Lara 123 maybe. Okay. and the role, I can say that it's a admin probably. Right, fine. So let's send this data. Yeah, your data will be saved now. So let's go and check the database. Okay. So let's refresh this one once again. Open the database. See, there is a table is there, right? It's I can use that for using the database. I can use that use database, and after that select star from user, right? So let's run this one. See, your data will be stored here. Okay. So let's go that get the data. Let's add some more data here. Let's add. So on 3, I can say that it's here Harry, and I can go with that Harry. 1, 2, 3. I can say that super admin. Okay. So just go there. It's also saved here. Let's go and check there again. So I'm just selling. Now it's fine. Okay. So what I'm trying to do, I'm just taking that new, and it's a get mapping only, right? Get mapping and local host, and I can use that get. So actually we are providing that ID into that like a path variable, right? If I'm not wrong. So let's say go and check there. Yeah, here we are. Yeah, it's a path variable, but we are not yet mentioned. Here we have to mention using that curly braces and into that ID here. Okay, now it's fine. Save it. Fine. Here also you have to provide actually ID. And sorry, here also you have to provide it. Now it's fine. I think so. Let's go and check there. So actually 101 is there, right? Let's go and check there. Yeah, you got it. Okay. See here. 103, I can go with it. Fine. Okay. And let's check that delete mapping. Just go to the delete here and local host. I can go with that delete. I just want to delete that 101. The 101 record is like a who's one? Like a Lara, I think so. Lara. Okay, Lara I just wants to delete here. So go and check there and delete here. Yeah, record deleted successfully. Let's go and check here. So see, Lara was deleted. Okay. So let's update something. Okay. So I'm just take that a new tab and go to that put mapping and local host. I can say that update. Okay, and I can provide that 103. Okay, actually this Harry is the super admin, right? I just want to update all the details here. Okay, I just want to update one. So let's go and check there here. And for updating details, where I have to put, I can go like a JSON and request body only, right? So I can update all the details using this one. Okay, let's go and check there. So I'm just taking and put here. And ID will be there. ID I don't want to change. Okay. So and here ID and password also fine. And I just want to start super admin instead of super admin. I just go with the admin now. Okay. So let's run it. So we're getting something like a some issue here. So let's go and check there. It's optional. Okay, okay. Actually, there is a class cast exception will be there, and while we converting that to data. So go to the tab surveys here. Okay, while we're connecting the data now. Yeah, the problem it is. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm directly using the data here. Okay, I can directly use the app repo. Okay, and I can use the find by ID, and I can provide that ID here. Sorry, by ID, and I can provide that ID here. Okay, now it's fine, and I just wants to get that. Actually, when you using the find by values now, automatically you'll get that values through that optional interface. If you get that exact values, you should use the get method. Okay, so now it's fine, and let's go and check that. Now it's run. So now it's fine. Okay, now it's updated. And let's go and check here. Instead of super admin, I want to get that admin, right? And click again. So now it's updated. Okay. So these are like a basic CRUD operations. Okay. I think so, guys. You just understood each and everything here. Okay, it's like a basic application. It's just a basic application. Okay, in future I'm going to teach you more on these Spring Boot applications. Okay, so just please like my videos and subscribe to my channel if you're not yet, and share these videos to that your friends. Maybe your friends will be benefited with this. Okay, and if you give me that any suggestions, or if you have that any doubts, just comment on comment section. Definitely our team will be contact you soon. Okay, so thank you so much.